You want to get to me? You've got to make my gatekeepers like you.
Jeff Watson.
Guys, you just opened up the floodgate.
When you put a powerful lawyer that everybody looks up to on a podcast with a marketing and a systems genius,
John Cochran.
investors all across the entire country, they're making massive mistakes right now, and they need a better playbook.
Phil, not ignore.
Every single thing that we deliver in this podcast,
Stay in those strategies. Stay in those strategies.
insider information only.
Stay in those strategies.
This is the Real Estate Investors Playbook.
Step on the game. Give me the green light, 'cause I'm ready to go. Let's have a good time.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Real Estate Investing Playbook podcast with my good friend, Jeff Watson. What's going on, Jeff?
Dude, it is a beautiful day. It is just a beautiful day.
Love it. Well, man,
Yeah.
really, we're into 2018 has already passed. We're into 2019. 2019.
Can you believe it?
It flew by.
Can-
Man.
We're gone. Blink, blink,
flew
gone.
by. But now the real estate market's changing. The real estate market's changing. It's changing very, very quickly.
Oh, dude, people are getting whipsawed, man. Whipsawed.
Well, there's so many real estate investors that are honestly, they're blind to actually what's really truly happening into the market, and it's changing right underneath them. I'll give you a great stat. New construction sales are just and they have been since like the first and second quarter of 2017. Everybody's building all over the place. However, if you look at the sales of new construction, they're almost non-existent. It is a very, very good indicator, along with other things that happened in December with the stock market crashing, I think, twice, it went down twice, something like that. There's a lot of key indicators, but the real estate market's changing. It's changing very, very quickly. And, there's so many investors that really want to have the best 2019 that they've ever had. But they have to really react to the market that is changing, and know really what to do with it. So we've titled this podcast, the biggest secret to doing real estate deals in 2019. That's exactly what, I want to talk about with Jeff, so that you, the listener, can really go out there and benefit and have not a good 2019, but a really, really awesome, a great 2019, the best year that you've ever had. As a real estate investor, no matter where you're at into your business, whether you're brand new or whether you're an established investor. So I want to give you some really key things that you should be doing in 2019 to really take off with it. And Jeff, I know that you and I do quite a bit of seminars a year. We do quite a bit of those things. And, one of the very first things that I always do in these seminars that we do, whether we're in Hawaii or whether we're in Vegas or, Ohio even.
Vacation capital of the world, baby.
Love it, man.
Last time we were on stage together, we were in the vacation capital of the world, Dayton, Ohio.
Yes. Yeah. And, the very first day I always, out of a 3-day seminar, I always dedicate to research. And the reason that I'm so research driven and the reason that, I base all of my decisions that I make in my real estate investing business here in Dayton, Ohio, off of research is because I got my clock clean, and the market changed right underneath me. And I didn't even know that it was happening. I was using the same strategies that had worked in the past. However, the market had changed and I didn't change with that market. And, ever since then, I made a decision that I'm always going to base all of my decisions, my systems, and everything that I do off of data and, what's really happening into the market. And there is a lot of things moving and changing, into the market. So what I would tell you, the very first thing that I would tell everybody, and Jeff, I want to kind of get your input on this is, you really owe it to yourself to really know what's going on in 2019 and really react to the changing market and know that changing market inside and out and use the market and go with the market rather than go against the market for finding deals, and to just structure everything. So Jeff, what would you say about the market that's changing? What have you typically seen, and what advice would you give people about just knowing and reacting to the market that we have seen start to shift?
Wow. The market is shifting in a lot of different ways. It's almost like you've got ground tremors and the land is rolling in different ways. Some assets are still quickly moving in certain price points and in certain areas, but other stuff is just stalled. And a lot of it has to do with, as people are processing the rate hikes, as people are processing the tax changes, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I mean, what I'm going to tell you is this, John, you and I have both made the decision that we're making decisions based upon where we want to be and where we see ourselves in 2019, instead of basing decisions on current circumstances. We're basing on, okay, this research says the market is going to be doing this in 2019. Because the real estate market is like an aircraft carrier. It does not stop and turn on a dime. Okay?
That's a great way to say
it. It takes a while. So we know your data, the research that you absorb and study and go into and then teach back out, says, hey, this is the trends. This is what's been going on with new construction. This is what's going on in this price band. This is what's going on in this market. This is what's going on in that market. Dude, we can kind of figure out where it's going, okay? And we're going to adjust accordingly. The second thing I'm going to tell people is, if you're not getting good data about where the market's going, you better find a way to get good data. And that's hang out more with John Cochran, find out more from him. But the second thing is, pay attention to what you're doing to limit your risks. What are you doing to limit your risks? If you don't have good data, or if you misinterpret that data, what are you doing? And I'm going to tell you right now, the people who are writing big checks on big expensive deals, they scare me. I worry for those people. I just agreed to, earlier today, John, I just agreed to go fund part of a rehab flip where all in $150,000, projected sale prices in the low 200s. Okay? Rehab and everything, 150. We're getting rid of it in a good neighborhood, good subdivision, and my LTV is going to be below 70%. And we've got the rehabber's got a really nice spread. But I'm paying attention to what's going on, because I'm like, okay, is that end sale price of 225, 240, is that a price tag that moves in that market? And in that market, that moves. Okay? And it's going to be a quality house. Well done. Okay, I can play that. But if I brought that same deal to my city where I live, no way, ixnay, no way. Out of price, no way.
I think 100%. I mean, what we started to see into our business, and what we are really, really going against now, is anything that, I'm going to say this in two different ways. Something about 2019 that everybody should really know, and what you should be aware of, is stay away from luxury. What I really mean by luck, because number one, it is not moving. It is not moving.
I got to tell you, I've got this dear friend. She and I sit next to each other at every board meeting of Quest Trust Company. Yeah, okay, by the way, that's just a shameless pat on my back that I'm a board member for the prestigious Quest Trust Company out of Texas. And she is ecstatic. Her $2.5 million home in an elite neighborhood in Dallas sold and closed in the last month.
How many days on the market?
A lot, like 180 plus days on the market.
Yeah.
And she's a good friend. And, and I was like, previous board meeting, it was empty, not much happening. And now she's like, it's sold and they want to move in early. And man, we're doing whatever we can do to get it closed. And I'm like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah. But it's really not necessarily like luxury. So yeah, we're doing anything that we can to stay away from luxury. Those types of properties, and luxury is whatever you believe it to be. But here's what I'll tell you: if you want to really stay safe and be able to move your properties in 2019 at a good pace and kind of not get stuck with properties, I would tell all of you guys, that are listening, just like we do into our business, stay right around the median price points, is really what's safe right now. Just stay right around the median price points.
The median price points in the neighborhoods where people want to and can afford to live.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everybody can afford to live in Highland Park, Texas.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I mean, I've got some friends that are really, really wealthy that live in those kind of neighborhoods, okay? That's not the median price, okay? Let's roll out. Let's go 30 miles north into Prosper and McKinney and so on out there. That's the $250,000 to $400,000 neighborhoods.
Well,
that's where people can afford.
You got to go where the buyers are buying, where there's a lot of buyers buying, and you got to go where the lot of buyers are buying in the median price points.
Exactly.
That's how you're going to be safe really into the 2019 market. And I'll tell you too, the other part that I will tell you, about the market that's changing, guys, I got news for you guys. The properties, even in the median price points, they're going to start sitting on the market longer. They are going to start sitting. It's the days of, oh my gosh, these properties are going to be gone within hours. That is really stopping.
The percentage of the percentage of properties that have multiple offers, that percentage is going down, down, down. And John, I'm going to piggyback on what you said, and my ADD is taking us here, okay? Not only for 2019, but even into 2020 and beyond, not only you have to pay attention to what the research is showing you, but you have to pay attention to what the macroeconomic trends are saying.
Yeah.
And let me give you some macroeconomic trends to pay attention to. Demographics, folks, we're getting older. The baby boom generation is still the tail wagging this dog in the American economy. You want to talk about a bunch of nervous baby boomers sucking money out of the stock market as it was going downhill in December? Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the forums. They're just lighting up with people. I got to get out. Okay. So pay attention to that. But there's a new macroeconomic trend, John, that I haven't figured out how it impacts us, but it's a good thing for America. Okay, it's a good thing for real estate. United States of America, God bless America, is now a net exporter of petroleum. We now ship out from our borders more oil and liquefied natural gas than we consume here at home, which means that we're now competing head to head with OPEC, and OPEC is starting to fracture. That is a major economic trend that you've got to pay attention to. Does that mean prosperity for the United States? Yes. Does that mean that the petrodollar and the dollar stay stronger? Yes. That's some things to think about, folks.
There's a lot of stuff changing. I mean, and really, quite frankly, if you as a real estate investor don't change with it,
you're going to get run over.
You're going to get totally ran over. You're going to get flattened, into this real estate market.
You're going to end up with the wrong properties and the wrong kind of leverage, and you're going to end up just totally getting hosed.
Absolutely. Jeff, I was on the phone with one of our brand new 90-day real estate investor challenges. And the second thing that I would tell everybody about the 2019 real estate market is make sure that the deal strategies that you're actually doing, the way that you're finding leads, the way that you are finding deals right into your own local market, make sure that they match you and your personality. I was talking to a guy earlier, and we're just bringing him on to the challenge, and he was all over the place. He named 5 different gurus, 5 that he is learning from. One of them, very well. Actually, you knew all of them very well. One of them is not a good friend of ours. He's very close with that particular person. And they've been giving him a lot of bad advice. And, I'm just so sick and tired of hearing the story from people that come into our office and whatnot. Look, here's the thing. If you want to crush it, if you want to do a lot of deals, into the 2018 or into the 2019 market, You've got to start doing strategies that work for you. So many people, they're putting out webinars, they're putting out these videos, they're doing all this stuff, and they're attracting people to all these sexy theory-driven courses, or things that would bring in deals in theory or whatever they might work or whatever into the business. But you don't even know if that system would work for you. So what I would tell everybody, okay, is you need to find out your personality. And what I mean by that is you need to find out if you are an extroverted person or if you're an introverted person.
Yep. And I'm gonna drill down on that one if you let me, John. Okay.
Give me a second on that.
Sure.
Let me tell you how to do this, okay, and why this is so important. And then, Jeff, I'd love to have your comments on this. So you can go to the website 16personalities.com, 16personalities.com. It'll take you like a whopping maybe 5 minutes to go and take your personality test. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to give you, at the end of that personality test, it's going to basically tell you if you're introverted or extroverted. And here's the short part of it. If you find out that you're extroverted, you should not be doing any strategies like, just to give you an example, you should not, if you're an extroverted person, you should not be doing any strategies like auction.com, anything that's online. Anything that you have to hide behind a screen, you should not do any of that stuff because that doesn't match you. Okay. So if you're extroverted, you should be doing more or less things like direct mail. You should be talking to people. You should be on that phone as much as you possibly can. The other thing is that if you're introverted, get off the phone. It's not your strength. It's not what you should be doing.
Yeah.
If you're introverted, do the strategies like auction.com, do the strategies like HUD, do the strategies like REOs, do those types of strategies. But in our business, what we do is, well, in our 90-day challenge, if you're extroverted, you can do all of the strategies. You can do direct mail. You can do sheriff's auctions. You can do all that stuff, but we're going to put a spin on it and make you talk to people because that's your strength, and bring in the deals by talking to people. If you're introverted, well, I'm going to hide you behind a screen, and I'm going to make sure that you don't have to talk to people, because if you had an introverted person, if you're introverted, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person. But if you're introverted, by gosh, I mean, if I told you to go and start door knocking, you're going to just freak out, and you're not going to do it, and you're not going to like it. It's not your strength.
You're going to fail.
You're going to totally fail. So
telling an introvert to go door knock is like killing their business.
It's totally killing their business. So I would tell all of you guys, make sure that, the strategies that you're doing in 2019, make sure that they actually match you. They need to match you, and they need to match the market. And when they match you and when they match the market, you're going to be doing very, very powerful things. And I would also tell everybody, just like I tell myself and my staff and everybody that comes and learns with us, only focus on two things. So many investors, like the guy that I spoke to today, he had 5 different gurus. He was into multifamilies, he was into mobile homes, he was into wholesaling, he was into rehabbing, he was into all this stuff. I would tell you, if you want to really dominate, if you want to have a lot of sellers knocking your door down, if you want to have more deals than what you can handle, just do 2 strategies. Don't be, the expert at all this stuff, because you're going to be an expert at nothing. Go out there and really focus on 2 strategies. Master those 2 strategies. Do anything and everything that it takes with those 2 strategies, and you will win big, and you will win often in the 2019 real estate market. Jeff, what's your take on that?
Dude, you're exactly right. And I'm going to give people a couple more suggestions of what they can do to better understand who they are and how they best approach a task. I think that they can find out more about themselves through some of these online tests. It's a modest investment. The Kolbe A, Kolbe, capital A. Find out, are you a fact finder? Find out, are you a quick start? Are you an implementer? Are you an organizer? Find that out. you need to know that stuff. Take the DISC. If you can find an affordable way to do the DISC, the DISC personality, great. If you can't afford the DISC, then go find, there's a tremendous little children's book out there where it talks about an otter and a beaver and a golden retriever and another kind of a lion, and just figure out what your personality type is related to that. I mean, are you a social animal like the otter where, man, as long as we're having fun, we can do this? Then great. I mean, if you're like me and you're a bit of a lion, okay, need to know what your strengths are. I've been working with a counselor, and he ran me through a test regarding my core map. Am I a commander? Am I an organizer? Am I a relator? Or am I an entertainer? And once I got to understand what I am and what I really want to be, and what's held me back, what's helped me, business has changed. Things are better. So you just focus on the things that you do. And folks, John's telling you the truth. I mean, I have tried to be as good of a real estate lawyer and as good as a lawyer as I can in so many areas, and I keep getting stretched too far and too thin. And so he and I talked about this. John and I talked about this, and we came to the conclusion that, it's really simple. There's two things that I will talk to people about. If it involves the legality of wholesaling, strategies and compliance with wholesaling laws, great. Or if it involves doing a deal with a self-directed retirement account, great. If it doesn't involve those two things, move along. Nothing to see here. Somebody else can help you, not me. But in those two areas, man, I am one of the best, if not the best. Period. End of story. If you want to know compliance regarding wholesaling laws in various states, you got to ring me, man. I've been there, done that, fought more, argued more, persuaded more, cajoled more with more regulators, more investigators than anybody else in the United States. Self-directed IRA stuff. Hey, man.
You got it.
That's my passionate love. Why? Because I make deals happen tax-free. So yeah, that's it. I mean, if it doesn't involve those two things, I move on. And so find those two lanes, find those two parallel lanes, and stick in those lanes. John, how many times do we look at each other and go, "Stay in your lane"?
Oh my
Stay in your lane.
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, you constantly have to tell yourself that.
Yes.
Because us probably just as human beings, and so many other, real estate investors and whatnot. Oh my gosh. You try this, you try that. Oops, didn't have instant luck on that one. Didn't have instant success on that one. So I'm going to go out there and try this. I'm going to try that. I got an idea. Let's just stay in our lane. Let's continue to do, and just keep pushing along. I mean, it's the absolute way to really do really powerful things into your life and into your business by sticking to something.
There is more value from building momentum. Think back to Good to Great, written by Jim Collins, and how he writes about at the beginning of the book about getting that flywheel to begin to turn. There is more value in building momentum and staying focused than there is trying to look around and find some quick instant success. Because I got news for you. Instant success in the real estate investing world is an internet myth. You got more luck finding a leprechaun riding on a unicorn headed to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay? You got more luck with that than, finding instant internet success in the real estate investing game.
Well, Jeff, think about it like this. When we were all babies and when we were learning to walk, how many times do we think that we fell down?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like it's our life's mission. You see your parents, you see all these people around you walking, so you want to walk, and like, oh my gosh, you stand up and then you instantly fall down. But look at children now. Look at babies now. Do they just say, "Oh, I'm just going to sit the rest of my life. I'm just going to crawl the rest of my life"? Last time I checked, Jeff, but we're in a world that most of the humans walk.
Yes.
Everywhere they are. So
most of the humans walk. Yeah.
They didn't give up. They didn't give up. And, the thing of it is that, you as an infant, you are, so determined to get up and walk that you're staying in your lane, and you'll do anything and everything to make it happen. And by gosh, you end up being a great walker.
So, okay. So let's talk about this. So I'm an infant. I'm a toddler. I'm struggling to walk. So the first time I fall down on my diaper covered butt, do I say, well, man, that walking doesn't work. I'm going to try hopping. So let me try and become a hopper.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'm going to get up and I'm going to try and hop. Well, man, that didn't work. So I guess I'm going to skip.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I can't walk. I can't hop. So I'm going to skip.
Screw this. There's a Power Wheels over there. I'm just going to drive.
Yeah. So now I'm going to go. No. It's like find that niche that works for you and stay in it. Get out of the mobile homes. Get out of the multifamilies. Get out of the rehabbing. Stay in the thing that works, man.
Jeff, I want to end on that note, man. I want to end on that note because it is so, so powerful. Guys, really, we have an unfair advantage. The real estate market is changing in 2019. And in my opinion, it's changing for the better for real estate investors. If you go, it's going to really start to loosen up. You better know exactly what's happening into the real estate market. You better adapt your systems to this changing real estate market. And I would also tell you guys all to make sure that you match your personality to the deal finding strategies that you're going to be doing in 2019, and only pick 2 and stay in your guys' lane. I'm John Cochran. Jeff Watson.
I'm Jeff Watson, and peace. We'll be talking to you again soon.
See you guys.
Win. And I mean you want to win big. You master getting deals from relationships and you develop follow-up systems. There's not another podcast out there as powerful as this real estate investor playbook. It doesn't exist.